The point of this video is not to give you some super ultra productive science-based morning routine. Though lots of those routines can be beneficial, most of them are just not practical and hard to stick to. Plus, if you don't truly understand why you're doing it, it's just gonna make it easier to give up on it a week or two later. The truth is, the internet has over-dramatized morning routines, making them seem unattainable and just overwhelming. In reality, morning routines shouldn't be draining. They should energize you to be productive throughout the rest of the day. In order to create a morning routine that accomplishes this, we first have to talk about what not to do. Whatever you do, don't go on your phone right when you wake up. It may not feel like it in the moment, but this is the worst way to set up your day. Scrolling through social media, checking notifications, or really anything on your phone first thing in the morning puts you in a reactive state rather than a proactive one. Before you've even had a chance to think for yourself, you've flooded your brain with other people's thoughts. This not only leads to stress and feeling overwhelmed, it trains your brain to not think for itself. Over time, it starts to become a habit, and your ability to focus goes down, your ability to think clearly goes down, and the ability to just think for yourself becomes harder. So not only are you setting an unproductive tone for the day, but you're training your brain to rely on external input rather than developing your own ideas and thoughts. If you get anything from this video, please do not go on your phone first thing in the morning. If you use your phone for an alarm clock, I highly recommend switching to a physical one. I personally use this sunlight lamp, which helps me wake up more naturally. If you want to check it out for yourself, I'll leave the link in the description. So what's next? What should you do instead of checking your phone? And I'll be honest, the answer varies for everyone. However, there is some common ground and things you can do that will benefit just about anyone. Firstly, everyone and their mama should have a skincare routine, such as a hygiene routine. I'll keep this part short because this is more of an obvious part and I'm definitely no expert. For me, this just consists of brushing my teeth, washing my face, rinsing it with cold water, and then putting on this SPF 30 lotion from CeraVe. But yeah, do what works for you. Definitely don't skip that part. So after the must-do stuff, the very first thing I believe everyone should do is make your bed. By the way, if you haven't read the book Make Your Bed by William McRaven, I highly recommend. It's a very good book. I'll also link that down in the description if you want to check it out. Making your bed gives you a sense of accomplishment in the morning, which creates momentum for other tasks throughout the day. On top of that, coming back to a clean and organized space at night is just a huge benefit as well. Overall, it's a quick 2 to 3 minute task that sets the tone for a productive day. On a side note, it's extremely important to get light in the morning. If the sun is out, open all the windows and step outside for a few minutes if you can. I've noticed that even just a few minutes outside in the sun helps wake me up and gets me ready for the day. Also, please don't forget to hydrate yourself. We naturally wake up pretty dehydrated, so it's really important to drink a lot of water in the morning. Also, don't neglect electrolytes. Without them, the water is basically just gonna go through our bodies. You can just use a sprinkle of sea salt, or you can go with a brand. I personally use Tea. They aren't packed with sugar and a bunch of fake ingredients like most of the other brands out there. So if you want to try them out for yourselves, I'll also leave the link for that in the description. The next thing that will benefit anyone in the morning is some mind work. This doesn't mean a full 10 to 15 minute meditation. It definitely can, but to me, that felt a little bit overwhelming at first. Especially if you've never meditated before, I highly recommend starting a little bit lighter. Personally, I take about 3 to 5 minutes of just closing my eyes, focusing on my breath, and trying to stay present. It's not about perfection, it's about staying grounded, controlling your thoughts, and getting your mind in a state of calmness and intentionality before taking on the bigger task of the day. These few moments of mindfulness truly make such a big difference, and I highly recommend including it in your morning routine. Again, you don't need an app, you don't need to pay 70 bucks for a subscription. Just set a timer. I'd say start with 3 minutes, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. And as thoughts pop up, just let them slide through. Don't be judgmental about your thoughts, but just bring it back to the breath. And each time you do that, you're building that muscle and you're training your mind to become more mindful and for you to control your thoughts more. It shouldn't really take that much time, and it's another huge benefit, so definitely include that. Another essential part of a good morning routine is moving your body. Now this one definitely depends on the person and what your goals are. This could be a 10-minute walk, a morning jog, a pretty intense lift, whatever it is for you, as long as it gets you up and moving. Personally, I usually do a quick mobility and flexibility workout. This is nothing hard. It just helps my body stay open and loose, and it helps me stay less prone to injuries. Actually, even if your morning movement is something else, I still recommend stretching. It doesn't have to be intense at all. Again, a few minutes will work, and it genuinely makes every other physical thing in your life a little bit easier. If you don't know where to start with this, I highly recommend Merrick on YouTube. He does a bunch of follow-along videos that are extremely helpful, whether you're just starting or you're pretty advanced. I'll also leave his link down below. The next somewhat essential part of a good morning routine is giving your body the fuel it needs. Personally, I stay fasted throughout the rest of my morning routines, especially throughout whatever movement I'm doing for that day. But afterwards, eating a healthy meal is vital for energizing you and keeping you productive throughout the day. A good breakfast does not have to be complicated. I plan to talk a lot more about food and nutrition in future videos, so I won't get too into it now. But overall, just make sure you're eating real whole foods to the best of your ability. Try to stay away from processed crap that comes in a plastic wrapper. Foods like eggs, fruit, yogurt, oatmeal, this is the type of stuff that's really going to give our body what it needs and is going to keep us full for much longer. The truth is, eating healthy is pretty simple. If it has a million ingredients that you can't read, it's probably not good for you. Eating whole foods that come from the earth will keep you energized and focused, and about a million other benefits that I can't squeeze into this video. So stick to whole foods, stick to stuff from the earth, don't neglect protein. Also, don't neglect carbs. Carbs are what gives you energy, so don't ignore them. I wouldn't worry too much about the macros. As long as you're eating real whole foods, you're gonna be much better off than eating processed stuff. And finally, arguably one of the most important parts, getting the main task of the day done. The thing that is the easiest to procrastinate on, not just an easy, mindless task, something that actually takes effort. The best time to get these things done is in the morning, before a bunch of other stuff pops up and while your mind is still fresh. To keep things as smooth as possible in the morning, I highly recommend planning it out the night before, exactly what this task is. It could really be anything, cleaning out emails, maybe writing a paper for school, maybe it's a work project, maybe it's going to the gym and getting a hard lift in. Whatever it is, get that weight off your shoulders in the morning and you will be so much better off throughout the rest of the day. Overall, you don't have to follow exactly what I do or what anyone on the internet claims is the best morning routine. As long as you have something, a routine that you can stick to, that doesn't burn you out, and that's building that energy and momentum for the rest of the day, you're setting yourself up for success. And without that routine, it's gonna be much, much harder to get there. Again, try to stay off your phone during this routine. If you're disciplined enough to, turn on music if you need it without checking anything else or whatever it is, that's fine. But in my experience, the best thing to do is just stay off it until you completed the task of your morning routine. Too many times we overlook the morning hours and how important they are to having a good day, when in reality, they're the most important hours of the day. Start small, keep it simple, and focus on what's best for you. Your mornings are the foundation for everything else and the easiest time to be productive. So don't miss out on that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to let me know what you thought down below. And yeah, go kill the mornings. See ya.